This is part 2 of page 4, 5, and 6 of your financial formulas, simple interest. On part 1, I forgot to state how many days, weeks, and so on are in a year. This is your first page of these worksheets. Down here at the bottom, it tells you how many are in a year. I assume that you probably already know these, but if you don't, there are 365 days in a year, 52 weeks in a year, 12 months in a year, 4 quarters in a year. Semi-annually means twice a year. Annually means once a year. Simple interest doesn't need the K. Those will be for other formulas, but you may need the numbers for simple interest. Okay, so this is page 5 of your financial worksheet. So it says you want to help your siblings pay for your parents' 30th anniversary trip. How much should you invest at 4% simple interest to have $700 in 5 years and 3 months? Okay, so if we look at defining our variables, so how much should you invest? You're looking for the principal amount. The rate is 4%. Simple interest to have 705 years. This is the amount you want at the end, so it's the A. 5 years and 3 months needs to be converted to years. So you cannot just write 5.3. 0.3 months is not the correct way to write that. You would have to do 3 over 12. If you wanted to enter that as a fraction, it had to be 5 plus 3 over 12. That would be the harder way to do it. The easier way to put it into the formula would be to convert it to 5.25 years. Right, so when you put it into your formula, the A is 700, the P0 is the unknown, 1 plus the rate of 0.04 times 5.25. All of this can be put into your calculator, so put it in as 1 plus 0.04 times 5.25 to get 1.21. Divide by the 1.21 to get 578.51. I round to the nearest hundredth because it's money. You could not use this formula because you don't know the I or the principal. You have 2 unknowns. Okay, number 7. Sarah obtains a loan of $500 for 15 months at a simple interest rate of 5.4%. What is the interest on the loan? So the 500 is when she obtains the loan. That's the beginning amount, so that's the P0. For 15 months, that has to be converted to years. Okay, the rate is 5.4%, so you would have 0.045. What is the interest? So you're looking for the I. So you would use I equals PRT, multiply the principal, the rate, and the time. I did not change this to a decimal or reduce it. If you want to, that's fine, but you can also just leave it as 15 over 12. Multiply this to get $33.75. What is the loan's future value? Once you have the interest, then to find the future value, you add it back to the principal. So the principal plus the interest is $533.75. Okay, on number 8, how much should you invest at 1.3% simple interest in order to have $2,000 interest in 42 months? So how much should you invest means you're looking for the principal. This is your rate. So 0.013. In order to earn $200 interest, that's not the end amount. The 200 is the interest. 42 months has to be converted to years. So you divide 42 by 12 to convert it to years. You can use 42 over 12, or you can use 3.5 years. When I plug it into I equals PRT, then the I is the 200, the rate and the time, plug those in, multiply these to get 0.0455, divide by this one to get $4,395.60. Okay, you could not have used this formula because you would have two unknowns. Right? You would not know the A or the P0. You had to use this formula. Okay, so number 9, you borrowed $30 for 35 days at a simple interest rate of 3%. How much will you have to repay? So you borrowed $30, so that's the amount you borrow at the beginning, that's the P0. 35 days has to be converted to years. There's 365 days in a year, so divide that by 365. Your rate is 0.03. How much will you have to repay? So you're looking for the end amount to repay. So the P0 is 30, time is over 365. Your rate's 0.03. You're looking for the future value, and down here you'll look for your interest. Right, so to find how much you'll have to repay, use your future value formula. So plug in the 30, the 1 plus the 0.003 times 35 over 65. You can put that into the calculator, all of that. None of that is variables. So you can do 30 times 1 plus 0.003 times 35 divided by 365. And that will come out, whenever you round, to $30.09. So that's your future value. How much of that was interest? So up here the formula adds, but if I subtract the P0 over, it's the same formula. The interest can be the future value minus the principal, so that's what I'm using down here. So I subtract the future value and the principal to get 9 cents for the interest. So number 10 says find the future value if $690 is borrowed at 2.1% for 7 weeks. So you're looking for the A because it says find the future value if this is your principal, because that amount is borrowed, so that's the P. You're looking for the A. Here's your rate, here's your time. The time, 7 weeks, has to be converted to years, so you have to put it over 52. So your time had to be 7 over 52 years. So I'm looking for the future value, so I'll use the future value formula. So plug in my 690, 1 plus 0.021 times 7 over 52. All of that can be entered into the calculator at once because there's no variables in it. You do it just like you did that last one. And you would get $691.95. You could also use this formula to get the interest first, but it's not asking for the interest, so then after you found the interest, then you would have to add your principal and interest to find the A. So it can be worked this way also. Okay, number 11 says graduation is 2 years away and you want to have $600 available for a trip. If your bank is offering a 2-year CD paying 2.5% simple interest, how much do you need to put into this CD to have the money for your trip? So this time is already in years, so time is 2. You want to have $600 available for a trip. That's the end amount, not the beginning. That's not the amount you're putting into this CD. That's the amount you want to take out at the end. So this is the A. So your rate is 2.5. How much do you need to put into the CD? You're looking for the principal. Right, so the future value is the 600. You don't know the principal. So if we use the future value formula, A is the 600, we're looking for the P, plug in our rate and time, put all this into your calculator to get 1.05, divide by the 1.05 to get $571.43. You could not use I equals PRT in this case because you have 2 unknowns. You don't know the I or the P, so you cannot use that formula, you must use the future value formula. Number 12 is the last one. Your nephew borrows $2,500 from you and agrees to pay back $3,000 in 8 months. What simple interest rate will you earn? So this is the amount he is borrowing from you at the beginning. That is the principal. This is the amount he will pay back at the end, $3,000. That is the A. 8 months must be converted to years, 8/12. And you're looking for the simple interest rate. So you're looking for R. So you would use your future value formula, plug in your 3,000 for A, 2,500 for P, your 8/12 for time. If you reduce that to a reduced fraction or change it to a decimal, you'll get the same answer. Right, so you cannot put this into your calculator because you have a variable. You have to distribute or divide by it. So 2,500 times 1 is 2,500. 2,500 times 8/12 will give you this. Subtract your 2,500 over. Right, then divide by this. Now when you divide, you cannot just put 1/6 on the end of that decimal. You would have to do 500 divided by 166 point. Don't just do 1/6 because it's repeating. Put a lot of sixes in there and it'll give you the 0.3. Right, then you multiply by 100% to change it to a percent. Right, now you could use this formula, I equals PRT, but you cannot plug 3,000 into I because that's the A. To find the I, you would have to subtract the future value minus the principal to get 500. Then you could use this formula with 500 in for I, 2,500 in for P, T equals 8/12. Multiply these two and then divide by the 1,666.6 repeating to get 0.3, multiply by 100 to get 30%.